got a small dump that I'm going to dump on this truck 18. We're working this side hill in this field. We'll get moved over to it here in a minute. We'll kind of show you what this is all about. It would be probably nice to have tools on the combine for getting into what we're getting into in this field here. But again, I only have a small dump I put on this, and then this truck here will be loaded. And we'll kind of show you what the terrain lays like in this field here. But we got moved over into this area here last night. I did some ground over in there. I was over in by the thruway, and now we are just north of the dairy barns here. So we've got 2 pieces of wheat on the other side of the road, 2 pieces on this side, and then this side hill. Well, that field there's got a little bit of a side hill in it too, but this one's got a side hill that rolls right down through the middle of it. This side here isn't as steep as what this other side is. Now, I've combined corn out of this field several times. Last year, we chopped the corn on this field, and I guess it didn't go too bad. We worked it both ways. We used the dump wagon in here because it was a little wet, and then we dumped the dump wagon on the other side of the road into that other wheat field there. But what we're going to do now is we're going to work down on this steeper part of the hill. Just down on this bottom side. I've got 10 acres done in here. And we're getting down to the last little bit. This is probably just about the steepest part of the hill right here. So I have to be somewhat light, or it could be bad. Turn around here and get cutting down through. I guess I've got the steepest part done already. I'll just get up through here. Show you what we're leaning like a little bit here. The regular camera, you know, my GoPro camera probably really doesn't show too much as far as how much of a side hill this is. But I think you guys can kind of see from the drone footage here that this is pretty steep. It wouldn't gain me anything more by doing it, you know, up and down the hill here. So we're just gonna kind of cut this like this. Keep my ground speed down so we don't lose any wheat out the back. All the wheat is coming across the sieves and going to that one side. The neighbors over in this area have a 9560 combine, just like this one, but it is a side hill version, and that would be very handy to have running on this unit here. A friend of mine has a S780, and he's got the Hillco kit in that. And if I were to buy a new combine, I would have the side hill kit in it as well. Even if you're not on as steep a ground as what this is, it's a real advantage to just be able to have the machine running level at all times. I'm not cutting nowhere near the width of the swath that I need to be cutting here, just because we're wanting to have as little of crop going through the machine as slow as we can here at the same time. So now we're kind of up on the level here a little bit. Not dealing with a awful wide sprayer track here. They would have come into here a couple different times. They would have tracked on their own tracks. However, you get sliding on these side hills a little bit, and it's hard to maintain course, if you will. So we'll just pick up at the end here, and we'll go right back down through on this other side here. Usually I go back and forth, but I'm just kind of running. Actually, we will. We'll go right back to that other side. One more time. We'll go one time down through like this, and we'll just go round and round it. Make sure I don't get any skippers here. Straight and fly the drone at the same time. I do have auto steer, but I didn't have a straight track set up on the bottom side. I wasn't straight yet. I was just freehanding it up until we started with the drone footage here. The wheat's coming in at about 13–14%, so we're pretty good and dry here. It is just about 1 o'clock here now, and we've been cutting for a couple hours here. Just kind of taking our time, doing our thing here. I'm not using auto steer, I'm freehanding it, so.
Go up to that top corner on the left of me and go up there and wait for Jared to get those bales.
You can hear them guys, they're picking up bales. They're close enough to us here to hear them on the radio. We've been baling straw with both balers. Tim, Alex, and Sarah, they've been hauling manure, so we've been doing 3 things at the same time here. We've been combining wheat, handling manure, and baling straw. got just a couple passes left here. This ugly sprayer track. an issue. I thought I took in an object, but I did not. So I stopped immediately. I tried reversing the head, wouldn't even reverse. Slip clutch started slipping right away. So I got out. I ended up looking down through all the little inspection holes on this feeder house, thinking that we had something lodged into the feeder house. I didn't see nothing. I said, maybe the chain broke. Didn't see nothing. Pulled everything out of the stone trap. Nothing caught in there. Chain all nice and, you know, I can free, cylinder free. I got looking at the head, and the head has a threaded bolt on each side of the auger that holds the auger in place, holds the height of it up. And we've got a threaded bolt on that far side that is mucho broken. So I'm thinking I'm just going to put this on the header cart and take the whole head out to home. I don't have enough tools here to fix it, and I'm going to have to go home and get a bolt or something to fix it with here anyway. So we're going to have to, yeah, work on this. So we'll touch base with you once we learn a little more. Alright, so we'll show you what we have here. This bolt right here is, well, it's kind of like an eye bolt. But that bolt goes down and it hooks to the auger here. And it's broke, so we need to get that out of there. And the only way to get it out of there, from what I could tell, is this sprocket has to come off in order to get behind there, to get into this arm here, in order to get that out. I can't feel anything in there, and it must have a, I don't know what it's got to get that out of there. I've got limited tools here. But if I had a crescent wrench, I do. I might be able to get that off. We'll try it. I doubt I can get that nut off of there, but it might not be on there that tight either. So we'll try it. What do you know? It did loosen up. Now the next thing is, are we going to be able to get that off of there? Oh, I should have a hammer in here somewhere. I don't know how much screwing around I want to do here with it, because we're working with a limited amount of tools here. So if I can get this, we'll try. Raking already, so the balers are in the area. So we've only got, there's 30 acres over there, and then they are where we were here last night. So we'll see. I don't know, you guys ain't seeing much here, so try to get this. Off, but now it's hitting on, this might be enough. I don't know what. Alright, we've got this gear to move, and this appears to have just a cotter pin that goes down into a pin that holds this guy in there. So I think I can clean that cotter pin off, pull that out, and get this eye bolt out of there. I just didn't want to drag this thing all the way home. Need to get a bigger screwdriver. Alright, I don't know what this camera here picked up, but the damn thing got hot and it quit. So, we've got the cotter pin out of this guy here. I'm hoping, yeah, I was able to get this out. So that cotter pin went down through there into this pin, and then I almost think we might have something like this at home at the shop. Maybe not quite that long, but we'll take this home, maybe weld another bolt alongside it or something, and yeah, we're gonna get this to work one way or the other here. I don't really want to go all the way to Deer to get one because we're after hours here anyway. So we'll go ahead and get back to the shop and see if we can't get something that will, of course, work here. Alright, so I was just a couple miles away from where the combine's sitting. Last night we were combining just about 300 yards that way, maybe a little further than that. But I said, well, I'll call my uncle's guys and see if they maybe have a part. My uncle's farm is a little closer to our farm than what our farm is from here. I talked to his guys, and they've got a service truck sitting near here that might have one in it. So we're going to go see if we can't jump one out of that. If I can't find one there, they're pretty sure they have one back at their shop, which that's going to be a faster alternative than going home and trying to make something. Because I am a half hour away from home, probably 10, 15, 20 minutes to make a part, and another half hour back. So let's see what they have here. Alright, we went over to where my cousin was combining, and they had their service truck set up, all the parts they need right in it. awful lot of stuff in that truck, but they did not have what we needed. So I just left my uncle's farm now, and he had back at his shop, Brian gave me this is one of the bolts I need here. So he had 2 of them. I took both in case I break the other side later. And what we'll do is we'll just have one of the part source peoples that are in the neighborhoods here, probably O'Hara's, drop them off to them. 2 new ones. So, a lot faster than going all the way home. The field that his service truck was in was about 4 miles from the farm that I'm at. I traveled about 2.5 miles from the farm over there, and I'm still a lot better off putting the part on there that I needed. What I was going to do is cut that eyeball off and then get a piece of all thread, butt weld that to it, then take another little short piece of rod and put it alongside the bolt that was there, and I was gonna do it up that way. So we're better off with the parts that we need here. Let's get back there now, that's all. Alright, we'll slam this thing back together quickly here. And get that combine in here. It should be over this way in a while with the baler. We need one of these, we need this. Alright, let's get this guy back together here. So, this is the bolt here. Get my pin in there. Oh, let's see, we're probably gonna need to thread some of this hardware on now. I gotta put the jam nut on there, and alright, we'll thread this on there, get it into place, and then we'll show you guys what it all looks like here. This damn camera gets freaking hot, so I gotta leave you guys out of the way here somewhere, but we'll get this put up in there, pin it, get this gear put back on, drive chain, and yeah. Alright, we've got this together. The lock nut that was on this broken bolt, I could not get that damn thing to move, so we robbed a bolt or a nut off of this belt tensioner here. We'll just put that down a little tighter and it should be good. Being that it's a spring, it might loosen up a little bit, but I'll just bring another one over here tomorrow. I gotta do a little more adjusting here. I gotta tighten that bolt up down there and get this guy tight. Alright, we've got this back together. It's we only got a couple hours left here tonight. We'll bring a nut over in the morning for this guy. It's an M16, and we are now ready to go. That set us back a little bit here. Ugh. Alright, so we're we're picking up where we left off. You can see the spot where I opened up the stone trap. I thought sure I took something in, but we are now going. So, minor setbacks. I even looked on the ground for evidence of possibly taking in a stone or something. It was hard contact. It wouldn't even, you know, wasn't even wanting to run at all. So this field here isn't the greatest of stands of wheat here or anything, but the other ones are all in pretty good shape. So Jared, he had some issues with the John Deere baler. He had a twine disc issue. He's working on knotters, got it back going, got it going good, and he just blew the plunger on it. So that baler is probably out of commission for the rest of the year. It all broke apart, and they are known to do that after a couple 100,000 bales. So we've got this piece here to do and the one on the other side of the road, and then it's probably going to do it for today anyways. So we'll keep plugging away here. I wanted to get farther than what I did today, but it is what it is. Well, here we are. We're into the next day now. The head worked good last night. Obviously, just a minor problem. Why wouldn't it work? But I ended up going till 9:30, quarter to 10 last night. And it was dark by the time I got back here. I thought I would show you what this baler looks like. This plunger. I don't know what exactly happened. We get climbed up in here, but we got some problems here. This plunger ripped out right here, and then it ripped, well, you can't quite see the whole thing from over there. Climb up on top here, maybe I could see a little more. Yeah, we're all cocked sideways, but we're broke here on this right hand side, broke on the left. It's going to require putting a new plunger in there. I'm not even sure if they're available. You can see it's up off the guides there. When he told me that the plunger broke, I figured it was going to be broke at the connecting rod. But it's not. So, this is where we're going to sign off from this video. And we are going to head to the combine now. I've got some plastic to put on it. I'm going to get after it. So that's going to do it for this one. I'll catch you at the next one. What do you say there, Timothy?
Well, I was going to move shipping. Nate's already doing it. So
there you go.